It's hard to see the word rest as a ministry, but it is, and it began with God Himself. After working hard on all of creation for 6 days, He could have made a continuum of His work, but He didn't. He ended it with rest. When Elijah was ready for his ministry work to just be done, God could have given him a way out, but He didn't. He gave him rest. When the apostles had been out on a hard mission and come back, God could have said, keep the work going, but He didn't. Jesus said, come and rest. You see, even Jesus Himself took breaks away from His ministry to rest and to pray, and His boundaries are for our benefit. God saw busy as a problem early on. That's why He said, come to me, all who are weary, who are tired of the religious burdens that are being placed upon them. Sometimes if we're not careful, we idolize the busy in ministry so much that we see rest as a sin. Building churches, building communities, building programs, building character, all commendable things. But even David gives us some insight on this rest ministry. All of the work we do doesn't matter unless God blesses it. We plant, but He's responsible for the growth. At times, we think the work relies solely on us, and we don't leave any space for God to be a part of it. We busy ourselves into a mess of stress and anxiety, no time for ourselves, no time for our families, sickness and spiritual weakness. Then we act like commendable to ourselves by the sacrifice we made for the greater good of the ministry. We see sleep as a waste of time instead of an invitation, a way to invite God into the work, realizing the work doesn't depend on us alone. In fact, when David was speaking about the ministry of rest, he even talks about how God can provide for us even while we sleep. Listen, our breaks from ministry do not break the ministry. The Great Commission was meant to busy, but not burden. Rest is the ministry God gave to us to balance it all. It reduces anxiety and stress, improves our blood pressure, strengthens our heart, renews our mind and our spirit, and it gives us some quiet time to hear from the Lord. Many of us honor God with our ministry, but we disrespect Him in our temples. God's commission was never meant to triumph over God's commandments. Loving Him wholeheartedly and involving Him in every aspect of our life was the goal. The Great Commission was the gift. God was inviting us to participate in His work. Rest is the acceptance of that gift, realizing that it's not about our work, but helping Him with His.